Hey, rail fans and model railroaders. Welcome back to another episode of Getting Back on Track with Steve without Roxanne. So, on our last video, Roxanne called my work ethic into question. So, this week I'm flying solo. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to start laying down some of that Cork roadbed on my own. So, no telling what's going to happen with the camera work left up to my own devices. I usually find a way to mess it up, but we're going to do the best we can. So I'm going to continue on from where we started on the line running on the bypass above the peninsula. We're going to connect in those turnouts, go down onto the peninsula, add 2 more turnouts that allow us to go down to the lower level and complete all that work. So with that being said, let's get this work done. So our first task is to smooth out these transition areas on the inclines up to the upper peninsula. You can make short work of that with a palm sander. So here I've taken some lightweight spackling and put it down. Now with the sander and the block of wood, we'll have a nice smooth transition when we put our cork down. We won't have a bump that'll cause decoupling of our boxcars and locos. Then beginning where we left off, we're going to use the white glue again and start our transition curve down onto the decline of the peninsula. So with our track already laid out, we have a definite line to be able to follow. We've marked out where our turnouts are. So then we can just follow it all the way around. We're going to go to our curves and get everything lined in just perfectly. So this is the part of the work I really enjoy, the cork work. I think I enjoy it so much because you don't have to be super precise with this. If you have your line drawn out, you just take 1/2 and you just set the edge on the line and just follow it along. So it's real easy once you've laid those lines out for it. It's kind of a nice therapeutic thing to just kind of go along and do it and not think about too much. Of course, I've done enough of these turnouts that I'm starting to get pretty comfortable with cutting up the cork and fitting them in, because they don't have to be perfect either. Because when you come back later, you take a sanding block and you're going to sand them nice and smooth and flat to make sure that they sit on there well when you put the turnouts in. As you just saw, Roxy popped back by to check on me to make sure I was working, and she had to get in there and put in a few pins for me. And then here we're just going around our curve and we're heading into where we have another turnout. And this is so that we can go from either side of the peninsula. You can go to the lower level or you can go back up to the upper level. I think this is going to be pretty fun when we finally get all this down and we get the track work up and start running trains. You're going to have a lot of choices of directions and places to go. So the second piece of track is super easy to put down because you just push it right up against the piece you already laid in there. So it's real easy to do and it's real quick. It's much faster. And here we're going past our turnout. We'll cut a few pieces, fit it all in there. A little bit of glue, pin it down. Now back up the incline, we'll get up here and connect into our track up on the upper part of the peninsula. Got our last piece to fit in there. I think this looks pretty good and it's going to work out really well. And then we'll put a start on for the lower peninsula that we'll work on later. But we'll do this part transition area from the peninsula to that lower level. I think we're looking pretty good here. Once everything's dry, I go back in and we'll pull all these pins. And I had to get a bigger container because there's a lot of pins. I think you can see here that these turnouts And the upper and lower elevations just look great, and it's going to be so much fun running trains on this. And here's the pins from the track that Roxy did earlier. We're going to pull these out. That takes us over the truss bridge. And you can see how this is another big long run. So this here put about another 84 foot of running track area that we got here. So between the two loops and the peninsula, we're up to almost 150 running feet of track, and we still have the lower elevation to go. So there's going to be a whole lot of running going on, and it's really exciting to see coming together. Well, all right, there you go. I guess this old dog still has a little fight left in him. That'll teach Roxanne a thing or two. So we got in there, we laid down a bunch of cork on the peninsula. We had those turnouts, and I think it's looking great. It's really exciting to see this whole track plan start to come to reality, to where we could really see what's going on. And I think you'll agree, there's going to be one epic layout when it's done. Lots of room to run. Send those trains in all kinds of circles. It's going to be a blast. So next time we're going to start laying some track, I think, and Roxy will be back to join me up again if she forgives me for being so crass about her. But at any rate, in the meantime, you guys have a good time running your trains, working on your layouts, and we'll see you again next time on Getting Back on Track with Steve. Also, make sure to hit like and subscribe and share the channel with your friends. We're growing in subscribers, and we really appreciate all you guys. Bye, all.